Hello, 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 everybody. If you can hear me, can you just type in the chat for me real quick? Hello, hello, hello. I'm glad you're here. Great, awesome, awesome, awesome. We're gonna begin in about 1 minute. Awesome. I'm excited for you. If you, if everybody can just type where they're from, and we'll go ahead and get started. All right. Welcome, Rachel. Welcome, Miss Ann from West Ashley. All right. Awesome, awesome. So I guess the others, they'll be on shortly, but we're going to go ahead and get started. All right. Welcome, Gabriel. Awesome, awesome. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and get started, guys. I'm going to go ahead and share my stream. All right. So, um, welcome to everybody once again. My name is Fred Noble, and I am the owner of Noble's New Sound Music Studio here in North Charleston. We have a music studio in Somerville, and currently we just moved to North Charleston. And our motto is where your new music journey begins. So I want to start by just telling you a little bit about myself and the journey. The journey, because it was definitely a journey, ladies and gentlemen. But the beginning, I'll start there. At the age of 5 years old, I started taking piano lessons with my father. And I did it for about 2 years, and I wasn't really serious, so I took a break between the age of about 7 and 10 years old, and I was like, I really wasn't interested. So at the age of 10 years old, my father, he came. I was walking out the door. Matter of fact, to go play basketball, and my father, he took the basketball from my hand, and he sat me down, and he said, "Hey, son, listen, it's time for you to start to really take to playing the piano seriously." So that's where it really began at the age of 10 years old. So he began to train me at the age of 10 years old. And then for about 2 years, and at the age of 12 years old, I began to play at my first church here in the Low Country area of Charleston, South Carolina. And, I began to play there. And 4 years later, at the age of 16 years old, my father, he took sick. And at that time, he was playing for a church. The church had about 350 members. And so I had to step up and take that position while my father recovered. So, that was truly where the journey began, because it was definitely a big leap of faith. And then also it built character and discipline in me as well. So after I graduated from high school, I decided to pursue music at Claflin University in Orangeburg, South Carolina. And I went there on a full music scholarship. Got a lot of opportunities there. I participated in the jazz band. I participated in the concert choir. Matter of fact, I was the pianist for the concert choir when we did our tours across the United States. So won numerous awards there as well. So after Claflin, I wanted to, I decided to teach music. So I came back, I moved back to Charleston and began to teach music at a local charter school at that time. And so I helped that charter school build its music program from the bottom up. And then one day we got some news that the charter school wasn't going to be in existence for the following year. So I had to make a decision. I always had a dream to open my own business. So I had a choice, ladies and gentlemen. I had a choice to either um, continue in the workforce or live my dream. And as you can see in the picture right there, this is the picture of our very first studio in Latson, South Carolina. And that's where the dream began. I only had $500 and faith and family. And so I took that $500, I opened that studio. The first year we did a music camp, a summer music camp. We had over about 30 to 35 kids. And man, it was truly an amazing experience. And so through those next 8 years, we continued to do that. And then one day, I heard God said it's time to like switch. It's time to shift. So he was like, now I want you to write your own music programs. So definitely I was obedient. I wrote an 8-week vocal program for singers, for children and adults. And then I also wrote a 12-week piano program. So I immediately placed that into implementation, did group lessons. We added that as well. And then I came across this young lady, and she was like, have you ever thought about doing online lessons? And, I was like, I ran it across my mind a couple of times. But then, my wife and I, we definitely made a decision to move forward into the online lessons. So my wife and I just released the online program, the 12-week Play with Purpose program and understanding. And we also have 2 vocal programs as well. And I thank God I went on to do that online program, because currently in our country, everything is shut down. So I'm still able to serve my students due to the online platform that we have. So that's the future. Things are looking great. We are definitely expanding and definitely excited that you are here tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and get into the webinar overview. Once again, thank you for taking your time out. This is going to be over a 2-week period. We're going to talk about the first part tonight, and then the second part on next week, same time, Thursday at 8:30. So make sure to look out for the link and join back on next week, okay? Also, I want to say this. I'm going to invite you to our Facebook group. It's an open group. It's a community group. When these 2 sessions over, then you'll still be part of this community, okay? So what we're going to talk about tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about the 12-week overview of the Play with Understanding and Purpose. That's the name of the program. And I decided to name it that because Play with Purpose, number one, you have to know your purpose of why you're playing the piano. And then number 2, having understanding of what you're playing. And when you combine the 2, you become an amazing musician, okay? So we're going to look at the 12-week overview of the Play with Understanding tonight. And then we're going to also look at, talk about having the right mindset. Now, this is very important as well. And then we're going to talk about lesson 1, the foundation. Everything must have a foundation. Your home has a foundation, because if your home did not have a foundation, your home would have been falling apart by now. Okay, so everything needs a good foundation. Okay, we're gonna lay a great foundation for you tonight, and then we're gonna talk about the 4-step process of playing the keyboard or piano. Okay, so let's jump right into it, and we're gonna go ahead and begin. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to give you an overview of the Play with Understanding 12-week piano course. The overview of this course is an introduction into music exploration with an emphasis on foundational theory, genre classification, and reading music with simplicity, okay? Now, in week 1 of our online course, we're going to talk about basic music concepts. We're going to talk about the music alphabet, flats and sharps, whole steps and half steps, inversions, the music pattern, basic rhythm and counting, and proper finger placement. All of this is laying a good foundation in week 1. And we're going to touch some of this tonight, okay? In week 2, we're going to understand the keyboard, okay? This is very important. We're going to talk about using the entire keyboard, different finger exercises, proper fingering technique, piano warm-ups, strengthening your weak fingers as well, okay? And then in week 3, we're going to have introduction to basic chord progressions. What is a progression, the major scale progression, and the circle of fourths and fifths, okay? Now, in week 4, we're going to talk about the 4 types of chords, okay? We have major, minor, augmented, diminished, and the 12 keys, okay? Week 5, we're going to continue with the 7th chords, okay? Week 6, minor chord progressions. Week 7, how to sight read music and read off a chord chart. Now, there are 3 things that I believe a great musician should be able to do. Number 1, read music, okay? Number 2, read off a chord chart. And then number 3, play by ear. And then number 4, I'm at a 4th one, sight read music, okay? And in this course, you're going to learn how to do all 4 things, okay? All right? And of course, it's a process, but, you know, the top musicians are the ones that can do all 4, okay? And this is what I give my students, because I want you to be well-rounded as a musician, okay? Because a lot of musicians only can do probably 1 out of the 4 or 2 out of the 4. But when you come and join our online community, you're going to learn how to do all 4, okay? Week 8, we're going to talk about using neighboring chords and inversions. Week 9, developing your bass hand, which is your left hand. There are 7 types of bass lines. Week 10, using tritones. This is used in a lot of gospel music. And week 11, 7th, 9th, and 11th chords. And week 12, we're going to explore various genres. So this 12-week program is power-packed, okay? It is very power-packed, okay? So we'll definitely get into more of that as well, okay? Now, we're going to talk about the right mindset, okay? Laying a good foundation. Now, before you start playing the piano, these 3 things are very important, and we're going to talk about it, and I'm going to have you to share a little while. But number 1, you must know your why. What is your why? What is your why now for pursuing piano? Okay, I want everybody to write that down. Okay, you should have at least 3 things. I want you to write down 3 things. What is my why? What is my why in why I'm taking or pursuing the piano at this current time? Okay, I want you to take time right now to write down 3 things. Okay, because your why is what is going to keep you. Okay, it's what is going to keep you motivated. Awesome. Okay. All right. Gabriel says to worship. Awesome. 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 So if everybody gets to make music, okay? Awesome. Awesome, Gabriel. Awesome. So that is Gabriel's why, okay? His why is to worship. First of all, to worship God, okay? Number 2, to make music. Awesome. We need anointed minstrels, okay? All right? And see, as you go through this process, ladies and gentlemen, you need to know your why, because it's going to be challenging, especially if you're doing this for God. It's going to be challenging. You're going to have some roadblocks, but if you have a strong enough why, I promise you, you're going to stick in there. My why has changed over the years. You know, in high school, I wanted to make it to college. That was my why. After college, my why turned into I needed to find a job. After the job ended, my why turned it in. I wanted to live my dream, okay? The dream of starting my own business. Now my why is to equip and train people like you, okay? All right? So this is my why. This is what keeps me motivated. Do I get discouraged sometimes? Yes. Sometimes I just want to, quit, but I go back to my why, okay? Now, to learn more instruments. All right, Gabriel, awesome. All right, Rachel says to continue what I have started. I always wanted to play. Awesome. Worship and help with worship ministry. Great. Great. All right. Awesome. Awesome. Strong wise guy. Awesome. Awesome. Miss Annette says love for music. Awesome. 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 Thank you. Thank you. Now, this brings us to our next point, belief. Okay. Belief. You have to believe in yourself. Okay. First. Okay. Before anyone else can believe in you, you must believe in yourself. And as you go through as an amazing musician, okay, you have to believe in yourself. And then you're going to have to believe in your sound, because what's going to happen is that as you develop and as you get better, you're going to create a sound. God's going to give you a sound, okay? And you're going to release that sound over people, okay? Everybody has a unique sound. When I play, it's a very unique sound. So you're going to have to believe in your sound, okay? And the third thing is vision, okay? You're going to have a vision. Now, I want you to think about this. In the next 3 years, where do you see yourself as a musician, as playing the piano? I want you to comment real quick. In the next 3 years, just take a time to think, whatever thought comes in your mind. Where do you see yourself in the next 3 years as a musician, okay? Where do you see yourself? Where do you see yourself in the next 3 years as you continue as a pianist? Where do you see yourself, okay? Awesome. Vision is very important. Habakkuk 2:1 says, write the vision and make it plain, okay? Write the vision and make it plain, okay? So having vision is very, very important as why, okay? And this helps us to have the right mindset, belief, your why, your vision. All of this is very important, okay? Okay, good, good. So as you're thinking, just go ahead and, type it as we go along, as we move along with the webinar, okay? So we're going to continue on. And if you have a question, just go ahead and, as we go through the webinar, just type your question or comment. In college, studying music as my minor and playing on Sunday services at church. Awesome. Awesome, man. That is great. That is great. That's a great vision, man. Awesome. 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 All right. Now, let's see. Now, we're going to talk about the foundation, okay? The foundation. Now, these are key music terms, okay? These are key music terms that are very basic music terms. We have more that we'll look at as well, okay? Now, music. Let's talk about music. I want you to comment. What is the first thing that comes to mind when you hear the word music, okay? What is the first thing that comes to mind? What is the first word that comes to mind when you hear the word music? Peace, all right? Melody, freedom, yes, yes. All of that is great. It's peaceful. It's melodious. It's freedom. Music can free people, and all of that is amazing. Music is the universal language that my definition is music is the universal language that everyone can understand. Because if you go to the continent of Africa, they have their own style of music. If you go to Europe, they have their own style of music. So music is peaceful. Music is melody. Music is freedom. Music is something that everyone can relate to. I always say that music is powerful, because if you're watching your favorite your favorite movie or commercial, if there was no music, guess what? That will be one boring movie, okay? That would be one boring movie. So, music is powerful. Music is so powerful, especially when it comes to worship. You know, music can usher us into the presence of God, and it adds to the worship experience. All right, awesome, awesome, awesome. Now, the music alphabet, okay? There are 7 letters in the music alphabet, okay? And if you don't know this, I want you to write it down, okay? It's A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, okay? So that's the 7 letters in the music alphabet, all right? It's A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, okay? All right, that's the 7 letters in the music alphabet, all right? So after the letter G, it repeats back to A, so there's no H-I-J-K. Now, the next thing that we're going to talk about is scale pattern, okay? Now, what is scale pattern? The scale pattern is a series of notes that is in that particular scale. For example, I'm going to show you, okay? I'm going to bring my keyboard up real quick. All right, this is C, okay? This is middle C. Now, in the C family, they're all white keys, okay? So we have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C, all right? That is a scale pattern, okay? Now, the scale pattern, what we're going to talk about, I'm going to show you how you can play any scale on the piano right now by doing this. Now, I don't have the terms on here, but I want you to write down whole step, okay? W-H-O-L-E, space step, and then I want you to write down half step, okay? H-A-L-F-S-T-E-P, okay? Now, we're going to talk about what a whole step and a half step is, okay? Now, a whole step, this is middle C, guys, okay? A whole step basically is the key. Well, let's talk about a half step. A half step is the very next key, okay? Either black or white. So a half step would be from C to this black key right here, which is C sharp, okay? That is a half step. Now, a whole step is from C to, you're going to skip the key in between. So that's a whole step, okay? All right? So a half step is the very next key, all right? All right? Then this is a whole step. Okay? That is a whole step, all right? So a half step and then a whole step. All right? Now, I want you to comment yes if you understand that, okay? Yeah. I want you to comment yes if you understand that. Okay, awesome, awesome. All right, awesome. Just want to make sure everybody stays with us, okay? Now, so that is a whole step, okay? So a whole step, a half step, one more time. All right, good. Now, so with the whole step, this is the pattern, the scale pattern, okay? W, 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 the W stands for whole, half, W, 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 H. So once again, the pattern is W, 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 H, W, 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 H, okay? So whole, half, whole, half, okay? So let's take a look at it, okay? All right? We're gonna do it in 2 keys, all right? I'm gonna do it in the C. So the first note counts as the whole step, okay? So we got a C, that's the whole step. Now, we need another whole step for 2. There we go. That's a whole step, okay? Then the next note is a whole step. All right? We made it to 3. Now, on 4, to get to 4, we need a half step, okay? So the half step is right here. There you go, okay? All right? Awesome. And then now the next one is a whole step. All right? And then the next one is a whole step. All right? The next one is a whole step. and then we end with a half step. Okay? Remember, the half step is the very next key. Now, we're going to choose one of these black keys to make sure this pattern works. So I'm going to choose the F sharp. We're going to talk about sharps and flats in a minute. All right? So we're going to start with the F sharp. Let's try out the pattern again. All right? So whole step. All right? Then to get to 2, we need another whole step. Okay? And then we need another whole step. All right, and to get to 4, we need a half step. All right, and then it's what? To 5 is a whole step. All right, to 6 is a whole step. Then we need another what? Whole step, and then a half step. There you go. So I want you to try this out, okay? If you have a keyboard, all right, try it out. Try out that pattern. Hold, 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 half, hold, 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 half, okay? That is the scale pattern for the major scales. There are 12 different major scales, okay? Now, let's talk about sharps and flats real quick, okay? A sharp raises the pitch, okay, by a half step. Remember, we just talked about half step, okay? So this is D. This is the note D, okay? All right, so let's talk about this first, okay? So under the 2 black keys, we have the notes C, D, and E, all right? Under the 2 set of black keys are the notes C, D, and E, all right? Now, under the 3 black keys are the notes F, G, A, and B, okay? All right, so that's the pattern. 2 set of black keys, 3 set of black keys, all right? 2 set of black keys, 3 set of black keys, all right? Now, so we have C, D, and E, all right? And then under the 3 black keys, we have F, G, A, and B, all right? So we have 2 set and 3 set, okay? All right, awesome. Now, I want you to comment, yes, I understand that, all right? If you understand that, I want you to type yes real quick for me. Just want to make sure everybody, we're on the same page, okay? Just want to make sure. Okay, awesome. Awesome, all right, awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, now, okay, which the 2 set and the 3 set of black keys, Rachel? Okay, so yeah, no problem. So the 2 set of black keys, under the 2 set of black keys are the notes C, D, and E, all right? Under the 2 set of black keys. Now, under the 3 set of black keys are the notes F, G, A, and B, okay? And then it repeats again. 2 set of black keys, C, D, and E. Under the 3 set of black keys, we have the notes F, G, A, and B, all right? Okay, cool, all right, awesome, awesome, awesome. Now, let's get back to sharps and flats. So, no problem, no problem. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here, okay? If you got any questions, you understand, please let me know, okay? I want to make sure. I want to make sure everybody understands, okay? That's very important, okay? It's very important to me. All right, so now with the sharps, ladies and gentlemen, we raise the pitch by a half step, okay? So this is D. If you raise it by a half step to the right, it now becomes, somebody comment in the chat box. If you can tell me what note this becomes. If it's sharp, if this is D, this note becomes what note? Let's see. D sharp, right. D sharp, right. D sharp, okay? Because this is D, and if we sharp it, this becomes D sharp, okay? Now, Rachel, this would be E sharp, okay? That would be E sharp. Okay, no, no problem, no problem, no problem. So D sharp. That's D sharp. Now, I want you to type in the comments. What note is this? G sharp. G sharp or A flat. Right. Good, good, good. All right. One more. What note is this? So this note is, if we were talking into a sharp, most people don't say B sharp. Most people say C. All right. All right. Most people say C. Now, this brings me into my next term. This note can be called B sharp or C sharp. I mean, B sharp or C. And the term for this is enharmonic. Okay, I'm going to type that in. Enharmonic. Okay, I'm going to type that word in. Enharmonic. And what enharmonic is, enharmonic means they share the same pitch or note, or they share the same key, but they have a different note name. Okay, so like this. This note can be D sharp or E flat. Okay, the term is called enharmonic. Now, let's talk about flat real quick. What note is this, guys? This is G. In order to have a flat, you go down a half step. You go to the left. Okay, so what note is this? So this is G, right? So now we're talking about flats. So this will be G flat. Right, there you go. G flat. All right, so let me make sure everybody understands. If we want to make it flat, let's start with the natural note, which is G. And somebody says, put me in G flat, you would just go back a half step. Okay, G flat. All right, now if you wanted to go to the key of D flat, all right, we will go to what? We'll find the note D and we will make it flat. Okay, D flat. All right, great. I will repeat. Now, let's go back. Okay, let's go to the note E. Where's the note E? Right here. Right, this is the note E. We want to make this note flat. Okay, so the way we make it flat is that we go back a half step. Remember, we're going back to a half step to the left. Okay, just going back one key. Right there to the next key. This becomes E flat. All right, does that make sense? All right, E, go to the E natural note, and then we go to a half step back to the E flat. Okay, great, great. Just want to make sure everybody's on the same page. You guys are doing great. Thank you. All right, now, the next thing we're going to talk about is a chord, okay? A chord is when three notes are played at the same time, okay? So let's talk about it real quick, all right? And we're going to see it in some other slides as well. So this is C, all right? So C is 1, and most days musicians they label by numbers now. So we're going to learn the number system real quick. So whatever note you start on is your root, okay? That is the musical term for it, but it's also called the 1, okay? So we're going to stay in the key of C. In the key of C major, there are no sharps or flats, okay? No sharps or flats, meaning there are no black keys. There's no black keys. All the keys are white. So you can play the C major scale if you know where C is. C is right here. So we can play a C major scale. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. All right? Now, we're going to talk about the numbers. C is the 1. D is the 2. Okay? E is the 3. F is the 4. G is the 5. A is the 6. B is the 7. And C is the 8. Okay? All right? So, how do we build a chord? Well, we build a chord on the numbers. What a chord is when three notes are played at the exact same time, okay? So we have the 1, we have the 3, and we have the 5. And when you put all three of these notes together, ladies and gentlemen, guess what? You have a chord. Watch. This is known as C major chord. C major chord, all right? This is C major chord. It's built on the 1, the 3, and the 5, okay? C major chord. That's how we make a chord, okay? And later we're going to talk about major minor chords, okay? But this is right here. This chord right here is a major chord. Now, if we wanted to find another chord, guess what? The chords are built on the 1 scale note, the 1, the 4, and the 5. Well, you might say, well, what do you mean? C is the 1, right? So we're going to build on the 1, okay? And then we skip every note. The root chord is built on numbers 1, the 3, and the 5. Now, type in, what is the 4th note of the C major scale? Can everybody type that in for me? What is the 4th note of the C major scale? F, right. The 4th note is F, all right? So let's count. C, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have F. In order to build an F major chord, all you have to do is skip the note. Skip to the next note. So we'll go to F, skip over to G, you're going to A, skip over to B, and you're going to C. Guess what? You have a F major chord. Okay? It's built on the 4th scale degree. Okay? The scale degrees. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's built on the 4th scale degree. F, A, C. F major chord. Okay? Now, let's talk about what is the 5th note of the C major scale. What is the 5th note of the C major scale? G, right. It is G, okay? So we're going to build on G. G is right here, and then we're going to skip to the B, and then we're going to skip to the D. There we go. We have a G major chord. There you go, okay? So you just learned 3 chords, okay? 1, 4, 5. Okay? So the major chords are built on scale degree on the scale degrees of 1, 4, and 5. Okay? The major chords in a major scale are built on numbers 1, 4, and 5 in any major key. So guess what? You can play these 1, 4, and 5s in every single key. You say, how come? Because what did we talk about at the beginning? The scale pattern. Whole, 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 half, whole, 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 half. If you can figure that out, if you can follow that pattern, guess what? You can play the chords in A flat. Watch. 1 chord. All right? The 4th chord, the 4th note in A flat is C sharp or D flat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right there. D flat, okay? The 5th note is E flat. There you go. That's your 1, 4, 5 in the key of A flat. We can pick another key. Let's go to the key of D major, okay? Right there, okay? D major. Well, I know already and that D major has 2 sharps, F sharp and C sharp. But if you didn't know that, guess what? All you have to do is go back to the whole, half step. Let's try it real quick. Whole, right? Whole, right? Whole, and then we got the what? Half, and then we got the what? Whole, and then we got the whole, and then we got the whole, and then we got the half. Let's go to D major scale. And all we have to do, ladies and gentlemen, is build the chords. The 1 chord, D major, okay? The 4 chord is on the 4th, okay, of D major scale. Watch. 1, 2, 3, and then the 4th note is what? G. There you go, okay? And then the 5th note would be what? A major. There you go, okay? So if that makes sense to you, I want you to comment yes I know that was a lot, but if you just use what we used in the beginning, okay, the scale pattern, you can play in every single key. All right. Now, as part of this webinar, I'm gonna send a recap video, okay, of the things that I talk about, so you can have something to look forward to practice with. Okay. All right. Awesome. Now, let's talk about progressions. Okay. Progressions. Well, what Okay, yeah. It's a lot. It's going to sink in. Over time, as you do it, I promise you, it will sink in. All right. All right. So let's talk about progressions. What are progressions? Well, progressions come from chords. Okay. Progressions are where one chord moves to the next chord. Okay. That chord could be major, minor, augmented, diminished. Okay. Now, if you can play progressions, then you can play songs. We're going to talk about that a little later as well. Now, progressions, okay? So progressions, if we were doing a one chord, and someone says go to the four chord, we'll go to the F, we're in C major, and then we can go to the five chord, okay? So if they say go to a four chord, go to a five chord, go to a six chord, which is minor, back to the one chord. Okay, we all know the song He's Able. God is able to five, do just what he then six says. It's too high for me to sing. He will four, do. See, so that progression would be what? 1 to the 5 to the 6 to the 4. Okay, that's all progressions are. So when you hear these songs on the radio, all they're doing is putting various progressions together. And with gospel and Christian music, that's all they do. Okay, it's progressions, and they have common progression that's found in gospel music and contemporary Christian music as well. Okay, so genres. There are various genres in music as well. Okay, we have jazz, we have gospel, we have contemporary Christian, we have classical music. Okay, so like I said, we'll explore some of the genres as well. Okay, playing by ear. Playing by ear is simple. Okay, I know a lot of people say, I don't know if I can play by ear, but following our simple system, you'll be able to play by ear. Playing by ear is hearing something off the radio and playing it by what you hear. Okay, not reading off a chord sheet or or sheet music. Okay, and that's a vital tool to have as a musician as well. And all playing by ear is having a knowledge of chords. Okay, if you get a knowledge of chords and begin to understand it, oh, this is a major chord, or oh, that's a minor chord. Okay, then or the diminished chord, being able to recognize the chords and progressions and figuring out what key it is, you'll be able to play by ear as well. Okay, the next thing, purpose and understanding. I talked about this a little bit earlier. As a musician, you must have purpose. You got to know why you're playing. Okay, what is your purpose? What is your purpose? You have a solid purpose. What is that purpose? And then having understanding of what you're playing as well. That's very important. I always tell my students that you should be able to relate what you learn to a brand new person that never played piano before. Okay, so you should be able to explain what is a major chord, how is a major chord formed, how is a minor chord formed, what is a progression. These are things that as a musician you must have understanding of. Okay, this what makes you a complete musician. There are thousands of musicians out there, but very few can actually break down what they're playing. Okay, so this is what this course is about, giving you a great foundation so that you can play with purpose and have understanding of what you're playing. All right, awesome. Now, before we go there, I want to hear from you guys real quick. If I want you to type in the chat, how many years have you been playing the piano? Is this your first time? You know, just comment real quick for me if you don't mind. Okay. Um, Never ever. Okay. All right. About 5 years or more. Okay. I think. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Never accepted class in college. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. So we definitely have some experience, and then we have some new people just starting out. Wherever you are, I have something that can definitely help you and reach your goal quickly. Okay. All right. All right. Awesome. So I'm self-taught, so I'm glad I can learn actual music theory. Awesome, man. Wow. Wow, man. That's amazing, Gabriel. Awesome. 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 Well, I'm excited to be with you on your musical journey and everybody else on here. All right. So we're almost at the end, but I want to talk to you about the 4-step process. Okay. The 4-step process that I came up with. Okay. The 4-step process of playing music, number one, is that you have to learn your scales. I want everybody to type that in. I must learn the first commandment of music. I must learn my scales. Everybody type that in there for me real quick. I must learn my scales. Okay. I must learn my scales. Scales are very important. Okay. All right. I must learn my scales. Okay. It's very important. Okay. Because a lot of musicians, especially in the gospel arena, they only can play in one or two keys, and they must use something called a transpose button. Okay, if you take my course, you will not use a transpose button. Okay, all right, it's forbidden. It's forbidden. No, no. You're going to learn how to play in every key with ease. And it starts by learning your scales, ladies and gentlemen. It starts by learning your scales. And from scales come chords, okay? You see it? It's a process, all right? It's a process. From scales, it comes chords. And then from chords, guess what? You're going to be able to play progressions, okay? And from progressions, you're going to be able to play any song that you want. It's just that simple. If you're wanting to learn, how to play the piano. I drill skills in my course, okay? Because that is the foundation. And we build upon that foundation. We build upon that foundation, scales, then chords, then progressions, and then songs, okay? And then we can get into song charts, okay? At the ministry I attend currently, that's what they use. They use song charts, okay? And then it's simple for me because I know my scales and I can play chords, okay? So I just read off the chord chart, very simple, and then progressions, and then you'll be able to play your songs. That's my 4-step process, and that's what I'm going to teach you, okay? All right, we're going to talk about 2 of them tonight, okay, as we wrap up, all right? Awesome, 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 awesome. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for you. Awesome. Now, let's talk about scales, okay? All right, we talked about it a little earlier, but just want to recap. Just want to make sure you understand. Learning your scales is imperative. All right, it's imperative. It's imperative. All right, you'll hear me preach that over and over, okay? There are many types of scales in music. There are various types. There are chromatic scales. There are blues scales. There are harmonic scales. There are melodic scales. But right now, where you are, we're going to talk about major scales, okay? And we talked about the major scale already, the C major scale. With the C major scale, there are no sharps or flats in the scale, okay? No sharps or flats, no black keys, okay? No black keys. So there's C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Okay. So for your homework, and I'm going to put it in the recap video that's in. I want you to be able to play the C major scale if you have a keyboard. Okay. I want you to be able to play that C major scale. Now, with the C major scale, we'll talk about fingering and stuff next week, but with the C major scale, you will put your thumb on the C, your second finger right here, I know it's backwards, but your pointer finger will be the D, and then your middle finger will be the E, and you're gonna bring that thumb under. Next week I'll have an overhead camera. You're gonna put your thumb on the F, and then your next finger, your pointer finger is gonna be the G, the next finger is, your middle finger is gonna be A, and then your ring finger is going to be the B, and then your pinky will be the C, okay? So then you have the C major scale, okay? That is it. And then we'll learn the G, and then we'll learn all our 12 scales, okay? So the first rule is you have to know your scales, okay? All right, now let's move on as we wrap up, okay? This is the piano keyboard. Yep, kind of jump ahead of myself, but I was so excited. It's okay. So the piano keyboard, once again, under the two black keys are the notes. Let me bring my piano back up. Under the two black keys are the notes C, D, and E. Under the three black keys, once again, are the notes F, G, A, and B. Two set, three set. Under the two set are the notes C, D, and E. Under the three set are the notes F, G, A, and B. Okay? Awesome, awesome, awesome. Now, okay, I can repeat that, no problem. Under the two set of black keys, let me bring my piano back up, okay? Let me bring the piano back up real quick. Close that, okay? Under the two set of black keys right here are the notes C, D, as in dog, and E. All right? So under the two set of black keys, once again, are the notes C, D as in dog, E as in elephant. Under the three set of black keys are the notes F, G, A, and B. All right? So under the two set of notes are the notes C, D, and E. Under the three set of black notes are the notes F, G, A, and B. Okay? All right. So that's the piano keyboard. All right? That's a diagram of the piano keyboard. Two set C, D, E, three set F, G, A, and B. And I will be sending this out as well, okay, for you guys. Now, chords, we talked about this, but three notes played at the same time, okay? Chords are formed from the notes of the particular scale, as we talked about. The major chord is built on numbers 1, 3, and 5, okay? The major chords are built on numbers 1, 3, and 5, okay? And once again, for those numbers, just want to make sure, okay? All right. 1 would be C, right? The third note of the C scale would be what? E. And then the fifth note of the C scale would be what? G. There you go. C major chord. Boom. There you go. All right. Awesome. All right. Now, so this brings us to the end of the our first session. All right. If you enjoyed yourself for this session, I want you to comment, say I enjoyed myself or something. All right. Just want to make sure you got value out of this first session. Okay. There's going to be a call to action. All right. The call to action, I want you to check your email. Okay. After this webinar, it's going to be a short survey. All right. After this webinar, at the end of the webinar, you're going to receive a short survey, and I want you to check that out as well. Okay. After the webinar, it's going to come directly to your email. And look out for the next 7 days. I'm going to be sending you material to go over. Okay. You're going to receive something from me over the next 7 days, guys. Okay. So be checking your email. Okay. Be checking your email. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. All right, awesome, awesome. Okay, awesome. So, call to action, check your email after the webinar, end of session one. All right, awesome, awesome. All right, so want to let you guys know as well, as we wrapped out, I released my first instrumental single. It's entitled Peace. It's going to be released over Apple Music and all your digital platforms real soon. It should be there any day soon. But if it's a collaboration with my wife, we during this time, we believe that one of our assignments is to help people remain at peace. So this is a 1 hour instrumental MP3 recording. My wife put scriptures so you can, as you meditate over and as you read it, the music is very peaceful. If you would like to purchase this, you can just send me a quick email and I can send you the link. It's only $5.99. Or you can wait to download it from the Apple Store or your preferred digital platform. Okay, so I want to say, I really appreciate you guys, and I want to say thank you for taking your time out to be on this webinar tonight. You could have been anywhere, but you chose to be here, and I truly appreciate it. And I'm excited. I'm excited for you guys on your musical journey. I'm here for you. You can reach me by email. If you have any questions throughout the week, please let me know. And if you want to message me, or email me, you can do that as well. Be looking out for the Facebook community group as well. I'll be sending invites. If you're not a friend with me on Facebook, then you can definitely find me on Facebook, Fred Favor Noble. Just friend request me, and then we can be connected. So this concludes session one. Let me make sure I have everything. Questions, please. Yeah, if you have any questions, definitely reach out to me. But thank you once again for joining session one of the webinar. I'm excited for you. Next week it's going to be Power Pack. We're going all in next week. We're going to learn actual song. Okay, so make sure you practice your scales and the chords. Okay, the chords that we're going to be using chords next week. Okay, and progression. So make sure you practice those chords, because we're going to play a song in week 2. We're moving. I don't believe holding people back. Okay, so I want to get you going so you can live your dream of playing the piano. If that's in a church, if that's in a nursing home, wherever, or if it's for your family, I want to do it for you. Okay, so this is Fred Noble. Watch out for the email, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, and God bless. All right, you guys have a great evening. Thank you.